Looks like you've been missing a lot of work lately.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
What would you say you do here?
God damn it. Bob, we love playing here tonight. My brother's ready.
It helps if you think of it as a game, Bob. Every game has a winner and a loser.
You must possess strength to inflict pain, Bob.
Good evening, folks. This is episode 66 of the Two Bobs Cast. We are a rock and metal podcast where we will go A to Z with a new band every week, and we will rank their albums for you. I'm here with my partner, Mr. H, the one and only. Oh, you're right there, silly goose.
Oh, I'm right here.
You're right in front of me.
Silly goose.
How's it going,
Right
H?
there on the screen. You're in the little box.
Right.
Nobody puts Mr. H in a box. I'm good.
It's more like a rectangle than a box. That's why it's okay.
It's a box of hate. It's a box of hate. Anyway, I'm doing good. This was rough, as you can attest. But there's some greatness in here. For sure. So you can testify to the roughness that was the 19 album trek of the Scorpions.
Yeah, so you will have to forgive us if we briefly go over an album that you love. Let us know in the comments what that album is. But 19 albums. You know, we like to keep our podcast over a couple hours, so we're not going to get too in depth with a lot of these, but there's some really great stuff here and there's some forgettable stuff. So we'll probably treat those things accordingly. So anyway, how's your week? How's everything going with you?
Pretty good. It was nice to be almost 60 today. Wow.
It was nice.
Melt that snow. Melt that snow.
All that mud. All that mud.
Yeah. Well, there's that too, but
and the dogs.
Don't have to drive in the mud, but yeah, the dogs. Yeah. There's
bringing that in the house. Yeah, it's good stuff. So, I went to a concert last week. I went to Columbus to see Ghost, and again, I know we've talked about on this podcast before. We seen them 2 nights in a row last year, and was a little disheartened to know that it was going to be basically the same exact show. But this was my son's one of my son's Christmas presents. So I did kind of splurge a little bit for really good seats. So we were lower, right on the side, maybe 2 sections, I think, from the stage. And it was awesome. It was my favorite of the 3 times, mostly because of that. They sounded great. Again, the songs were all the same, but
no different ones, huh? I don't think I even asked. They swap anything out.
So I think between all 3 sets, something was different in all of them.
Okay.
But in this case, it was they just kind of mixed the Cleveland and the Pittsburgh set list up and played a little bit of each of that stuff. So, like, I didn't get Little Sunshine in Columbus, but I got Faith, and then I got what is it? Another one from that album with like the Cerise and all that. I don't know why I'm blanking.
Okay.
But I got an extra one off of there and whatever. Yeah. So yeah, for mostly it was the
90%. It was the same, pretty much.
90% it was the same. But again, they sound great. They sound fantastic. That didn't change. They sound. One thing I said, and it was weird. Like 3 or 4 of the solos, it almost sounded like he had a weird pedal on it, where it sounded like kind of like a banjo kind of sound to it. So I don't know if he was pushing the wrong button on his it just sounded off, and it wasn't the whole time. So
Yeah, interesting.
it was really weird, but great show. Again, we hit on it before. Just such a great sounding live band. It's
Tobias didn't sound tired. His voice still sounded strong because this is leg 2, I think.
It's leg 2. They did take, I think, a good like 4 or 5 months off though.
Was
between,
it?
I think so.
I thought they were playing into like November even, but yeah, it's still.
I think they did a few. I think you're right. They did do a few shows in like South America. I think after us. So yeah, it may have only been like 3-4 months, but yeah,
they know how to space that stuff out these days. They do a good job. Even the older bands, they play, a weekend day and then have a day off and play another day and then they're off for 4 days. Like they know how to space that stuff out. Only the idiots are out there, trying to. The Sebastian Bach of the world playing 4 nights in a row, like because he thinks he's 22 years old still. Like the 4th night, he sounds like total ass.
Yeah, I mean, he does take nights off. I mean, for sure. Like they space out stuff, and plus, also because the weather was bad, they canceled I think 3 shows right before Columbus. Not right before, but so I'm sure that helps a little bit too. But they sounded great.
Northeast or whatever. I'm sure they probably couldn't really go anywhere themselves even. So.
Yep. So lots of rest there, but unbelievable. Cool. I'll say it again. If you guys have a chance to see Ghost live, if you're into like classic rock, again, they're not going to be super heavy. If you're into real heavy metal stuff, it's more classic, like a classic rock version, a current version of that. It's just great songs, great guitar solos, great sound. Good production, all the lights and all that stuff. It's definitely worth going to. So great show. And I will say that I did work Tesla last weekend as well. And they actually surprised me. A bunch of old guys. They did sound really, really good. Frank
Hannon is a beast.
Oh yeah.
He's a guitar player. He's so good.
Yep.
One of the more underrated guys in all of rock and metal. That dude, he's amazing. Like there was a time where they played as a 4-piece and he was playing both parts. Like it was insane. Like the dude he's so good.
Yeah, he's good. And Keith sounded really good too. So that I guess that's not always the case. Talking to
definitely
Hendo,
not.
He's got his bad nights.
That's good.
That's he sounded like himself. He's got such a unique voice. You could tell when he's on and when he's not, I'm sure.
There's a couple times the 2 most recent times I've seen him, it was
pretty bad.
It was hurt your ears bad, like really bad.
Screechy.
Like because he's way up there anyway, and it doesn't take much for his voice to fall off into a range where it just makes your eardrums vibrate. You're like, no, stop, please stop now. Like it's bad. So but that's good that he wasn't that way here. And you said it was sold out, so they're still drawing people, which is good because I've always loved them as a band. So I'm glad they're still out there, and I'm glad that they are still doing well. Financially with that, so that's good.
Yeah,
not a big place, but there's Extreme and who came with Extreme and played that they didn't sell it out.
No,
Queensryche, it was like half full. So that's great for a band like Tesla to still sell that out. So
and they had these big screens up. Like the production was pretty good. So not a whole lot of bands that come play where I work bring their like screens and stuff with them and their production and all.
They usually just use the ones that are permanently there, right?
Yep.
Those 2
just a projector.
Yeah. And those aren't great. They're cool a little bit because if you're off the way one side or the other, you can just look up and see better than some seeing on stage. But
right.
But it's cool they brought their own though.
Yep, very cool. But we're not here to talk about Tesla. We're here to talk about the Scorpions.
Yes, let's get it rolling.
Let's get it going. 19 and counting.
All right. Starting in 1965. Yes. 61 years ago in Hanover, Germany. Started by guitarist Rudolf Schenker. The longest and most successful lineup. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about all the changes, but the longest and most successful lineup has been Klaus Meine, Matthias Jabs, Francis Buchholz, Herman Rarebell, and Rudolf Schenker. Rudolph's brother, Michael Schenker, who went on to UFO fame and MSG, Michael Schenker Group, and solo albums. He's still out touring today. He's a really good guitar player too. He was in the band for one album. He was replaced by Uli John Roth, for a few albums, who was then replaced by Matthias. Except for a brief stint, I guess, right before Love Drive, which is something I didn't know about the band that I found. Right before Love Drive was released in '79, Michael Schenker came back to the band,
Yep.
and Matthias was out for a while. Like, they basically said, all right, we're going to move forward with Michael. And then I guess a few weeks into that, he quit again. And then they brought Matthias back, and then he's been in the band ever since. So, except for that few weeks, he's been in the band for a really long time. So, but Uli John Roth also is still out touring, and he does some of these old. Yeah, he has a lot of writing credits. He sang a couple of these songs on these older albums. So he's still out touring, and he does some old Scorpion stuff also. So, and he's another cool one to see. The show I listen to on Friday nights, Metal on Metal, Bill Peters, he talks about Lee John Roth and Michael Schenker a lot. He's a big fan of those two guitar players, and whenever they're in the area, he makes sure everybody knows it. So, one of these times I might try to go see them, but they're both getting very old. So, but they're still out touring. They play little, small places, which would be kind of cool to see. But anyway, that I went through the classic lineup, and then in 1972 they released their debut album called Lonesome Crow, February 29th. Must have been a leap year. 1972, 7 songs, produced by Connie Plank. Nobody I've ever heard of. But this album sounds really cool for being 54 years old. There's a lot of space in the headphones, a lot of stuff going on all over the place. I was like, man, this is kind of trippy. It was interesting to listen to this. It sounds really good. I'm not sure I ever listened to this whole album. I had heard the one song, "I'm Going Mad," and the video is laughably terrible. You told me to watch that, and I did. It's like the same, like, 5 clips of them doing the same things, just like they keep looping them together. It's just so funny. Like, if you get a chance, you got to watch it. The song isn't great. Like, it's 1972, kind of like feeling it out, kind of classic rock-ish. Like, they kind of don't know if they're somewhere between Black Sabbath and The Who, or somewhere in there. Like, I'm not sure they really knew what they were going for at the time, but a lot of it is instrumental. It's obviously dated when you listen to these songs. It was recorded by a band that I guess they got together and recorded this album in 6 to 7 days. In 6 or 7 days, which is incredible for a band recording their first album, that they had just kind of got all 5 of these guys together and went into the studio and recorded it that quick. I do kind of like some of this. I really didn't think I would, but it does have a kind of a feel to it that I kind of like. It doesn't sound that cheesy, and it does have some cool guitar work in it. The brothers Schenker sound really good together, even though this is the only album they're on together. But it's definitely not a polished work, though, as far as songwriting goes and that stuff goes. So my favorites were "I'm Going Mad." I mean, it's not a great song, but it's one of the better ones on here. I do like the guitar work and the riffs on that one. I also liked "In Search of Peace of Mind," which is the 4th song, and I liked "Inheritance," which is the 5th song. Those are my favorites on here. There's only 7 songs, but they do get kind of long. The last song is 1331. It's way too long. My skippers are "Action." It sounded a bit too dated and jazzy, and then bluesy, which was a strange sounding in my ears. Cool solos, though. Cool guitar solos, which I'm going to say a lot with this band. But even songs I don't like, some of them have some really cool guitar solos in them, which is great, even if the song isn't that great. So, and "Lonesome Crow," the song, like I said, it seems like it's never ending. It goes on and on, and yeah, it goes on. So this is I have this as a C minus. I have this as number 17 out of the 19 albums. So there are actually 2 that I like less than this one. And there's not really much in the way of what this band was going to sound like later on here. So this was just a kind of a strange trip for a band that I was kind of listening for stuff that, maybe that I would find familiar from hearing them later on, and being a huge fan of theirs later. but I really didn't find much of it here. So, but it is, some of it's kind of long and sounds the same. There's some kind of like, is this the same song kind of thing? But there's definitely a little bit of stuff here I like. So, what did you think of Lonesome Crow?
So if I'm going to have a controversial take, this might be it. But
Is number one? No way! I don't believe it.
No,
not that controversial.
It's not that controversial, but I really like this album a lot. To me, you mentioned Black Sabbath. I think that's perfect. I think this is a Sabbath minus Ozzy record, but not
minus vocals entirely.
Right,
in some cases.
right. But also, but Sabbath during the Ozzy time, like this sounds like basically you could have told me that, Sabbath was in the studio making their original Black Sabbath album, which was within the same couple years of this. You could have told me that this was like their, that they basically just wrote another album when they were in there. And
some lost album they recorded.
Yeah.
It was on the floor somewhere.
Shanker is phenomenal in this. Yeah. And when you think
one?
I'm sorry, Michael Shanker is awesome in this. And he was only 15 and 16 years old when recording this. He was, obviously he's a prodigy. Like right from the beginning, he was special. And this album he has all the lead work in this. That's the thing about Rudolph is he does play solos later on, but he's mostly the riff guy. He's the main songwriter. He basically writes a lot of their stuff throughout their whole catalog, and he's a riff machine. Like he's obviously the rock star of the band. He's even the rock star between the Shankers. I mean, Shanker has always been kind of the shy, talented prodigy, and Rudolph's always kind of been the motivated, hardworking, like willing to do whatever it takes to be successful. So I wish they would have done more together, because I think that's perfect match.
Me too. I would love to hear what like some later stuff, maybe not even Scorpions, but some later stuff would have sounded like with the two of them together. I really would like to have heard that.
Well, I think Michael plays a little bit of the solos on Love Drive too. I think they kept some of those. I'll check it later on. I think he's actually on the album, so we get a little taste of it there. But this is great. Like again, I'm not gonna sit and tell you that there's a bunch of songs on here that are great songs, but I listened to this album and I really enjoyed it. And trying to put this order together of what albums I liked, which ones I didn't, this felt in front of a lot more than I thought it would, because at least this is memorable to me, where I was humming some of like the guitar riffs and guitar solos long after I was done listening to this. And I kept going back to these songs. I'm Going Mad and Search a Piece of Mine, Inheritance. I went back to these songs a lot. I just really like it. It's a Sabbath sounding album, which I love old Sabbath. I love their guitar stuff. Definitely there's some comparisons between Iommi and Michael Shanker for sure, with their lead playing and things like that. So that's going to be my surprise. Is this one is number 8 for me. So it's got up quite a bit in the list. Just a lot of the stuff later on is forgettable to me. And this, it wasn't forgettable. It was, I wish they would have used Klaus a little bit more here, because there are moments when he comes in and you can hear obviously what he's made of, like what he has, but they didn't do anything. Like I'm Going Mad. He says one line and the rest of it is just riffing and soloing, which I love it. Like that's awesome. But I feel like he kind of was underutilized here, which obviously he's got a whole career to show what he can do. But this is number 9 for me, like a B-. Like it really surprised me how much I really liked this full album. So that may be the most I say about a lot of these albums, but I really think this is a really underrated musical album. It's very jammy, but like jam bandy.
It is.
What's the term they use? Kraut rock, I think they use for it. But phenomenal. Again, I want to see these two do tons of stuff together. The two guitar brothers. So
I do love the guitar work, but I really, really miss Klaus on this album. That's my biggest problem. I don't have any problem with it kind of sounding Sabbath-y
Yeah.
and like, being kind of a jam work, but even Klaus, like there's times on here every once in a while you can kind of hear what he would sound like later, but even he didn't really sound like he sounds later. Like
Right.
I'm not sure he really knew what kind of instrument he had.
For sure. For
And,
sure.
you could tell he was just kind of coming in there, and it's like some of the things don't even feel like they fit that he does sing in there. And I'm like, well, that was weird. And that didn't sound like Klaus that I knew later, but
Yep.
and that's kind of the coolest thing for me is like you always on all of these albums, I don't even need to say it. There's
Yeah.
great guitar work by Michael, by Uli John Roth. You're right. Michael does have some leads on like think 4 songs on Love Drive. I
Yeah.
just looked it up.
Right.
But there's great lead work both by Rudolph and Michael and Uli John Roth and Matthias. All of them. They're all like there's just great guitar work all throughout. Like even on the albums that suck, and there are a couple of them.
Yeah.
There's still some great guitar work in there. It's just the songs are terrible, but there's great guitar work. Like that doesn't get lost at all. I miss Klaus because the dude can sing, man. He is such a great singer. He's got one of those voices. I'll just say it now. He's got one of those voices that as soon as that man opens his mouth, you know right away who that is. There's no mistaking him with any other singer in the world ever. The man he's got a voice all his own. And when it comes to fruition, it's outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. So I just miss him in this one.
That's
so
fair.
But I do like it more than I thought I would. So I'm not that surprised that you like it as much as you do. But that's because I know you a little bit now, and I know
Yeah.
that the jammy like guitar stuff. I know that you love that stuff, so it doesn't really surprise me all that much.
Right.
8 or 9, I'm a little surprised by that, but
Yep.
I also know there's a lot in here that's you could go either way on in their catalog, and there's a lot of kind of bad stuff in here
Yeah.
too that's really not good. So anyway, on to better things, hopefully going forward, maybe not, at least right away here. But Fly to the Rainbow came out November 1st, 1974. This is album number 2. 7 songs. Frank Bornemann produced. And right away, Klaus sounds like Klaus a little bit here. Yeah, I couldn't tell it was him a lot on the debut for much of it, but his voice here starts to become like unmistakable, like I mentioned. Michael Schenker out, Uli John Roth in, still great. For me, maybe even better in some ways. I'm kind of a bigger fan of Uli John Roth stuff than I am Michael Schenker's stuff later in their careers. I just feel like it just fits my ears better. Like they're both great guitar players. What Uli John Roth, the style that he plays in, I just like more than what Michael Schenker. Like I've tried so many times to listen to UFO. I know they're a huge influential band, new wave of British heavy metal, like late 70s. They got pretty big. They have like this cult following. I've tried so many times to listen to them, and that's a lot of that earlier, at least the earlier stuff was Michael Schenker. And I'm just not that into it, like the songwriting and that kind of stuff. The dude's a great player, but I just prefer early John Roth stuff a little bit more. So, but anyway, it's still great. It's still 2 guitars, and there's a lot of great guitar work in here. Again, this is the first album with Francis Buchholz. Rest in peace. He just died about a month ago, I think, 6 weeks ago, unfortunately, and he was 71. I want to say, which seems kind of young considering this is 1974. But he again, I guess he was like 71. But again, rest in peace. He does have a lot of writing credits along in this band. He was in this band for a long time. Rudolph Schenker has some lead vocals on let me see, on They Need a Million, and Uli John Roth has lead vocals on Drifting Sun. Klaus sings backing vocals on both, and you can definitely hear that it's Klaus back there singing. The songs are okay, but Klaus like sounds amazing on like Fly People Fly. Like he sounds amazing on there. So those other ones, I just wish Klaus sang them,
Yeah.
So I mean, those guys, they wrote them, they wanted to sing them. That's all cool, but neither one of them is a very good singer, and they both, I think, kind of backed off after that. We're like, okay, let's just let this man who's got incredible singing voice do his thing. This is the first time hearing stuff from them that I hadn't heard, because I hadn't heard a lot of that first album either. This is the first time hearing stuff I hadn't heard from them, but knew right away that it was the Scorpions. This is the first album I kind of couldn't really tell. Like it doesn't have a lot of Scorpion sound to it. Like you said, it's got more, Black Sabbath-y stuff in there. It just doesn't sound a lot like Scorpions. But on this album, I could kind of start to hear that a little bit in here, which this is what I found interesting in like this listening to these first 5 or 6 albums, was the kind of the growth process of what they became later that I absolutely loved later on. And you could hear little bits and pieces, and it kind of grew, and you can hear more and more. And I that was kind of fun for me. Fly to the Rainbow has a really big Pink Floyd kind of energy to it. I kind of like it, albeit it's a little long. It's 9 minutes and 40 seconds, but like Pink Floyd songs that are 9 minutes long, it almost doesn't feel that long. Like it has its different parts. It's very kind of progressive and definitely has some atmospheric stuff, which I'd be surprised if you didn't like that song, because that seems like that atmospheric stuff with the guitar work, like that's right up your alley. Favorites of mine on here are Speedy's Coming. Yes, sir. I like that one a lot. It's first song on here. Drifting Sun, it's good, but again, that would be better if Klaus just sang it. I like that one more of the guitar singer, the guitar fronted singing songs. That's the better one of the two, but I wish Klaus sang it. Skippers, They Need a Million. It's kind of a strange Jefferson Airplane sounding kind of song. That's the one that Rudolph sang on, but it's just a weird, it doesn't sound kind of like the rest of the album. It almost feels like it's out of place on here. I have this one rated as a C. I had this at number 12, so it's still in the second half of their catalog for me. I like it slightly more than a debut. It was hard to rank a lot of these. A lot of these here, the next few albums are all kind of the same. It was definitely hard for me to differentiate. Like I looked at what songs I liked, how much did I like them, because every one of these has like 1 or 2, 3 skippers, and every one of them's got 1 or 2 or 3 that I like, but depending on which one I like more, it was kind of tough to rank. So this one I kind of put ahead of the next few. And I like it slightly more than the debut one. But again, these are all kind of close for me. More moments of the Scorps in here from their later on sounding stuff. And like I said, this was kind of an interesting trip through. I probably won't come back to these albums much, if at all, but it was a cool trip to go through them consecutively and go through the whole albums one by one, rather than I've heard songs of these here and there, but not the whole album. So it was kind of an interesting, cool trip to go through them, but I don't know that I'm going to do it many more times. But anyhow, I have this as C number 12. What did you think of Fly to the Rainbow?
So we got Tyler, of course. Hello, Tyler. He said he knew this was going to be an interesting one. It's not disappointing so far. Okay.
Thanks, brother.
Interested to hear your thoughts on that.
He's not here often enough, but I'm glad he's here today.
Yep. And we got Wolverine. What's up, man? How you doing? Assuming it's a man because it's Wolverine. What's going on?
2 men in the photo. Big man, little man.
Big man, little man. What's going on? So what is up with this album cover?
We're not going to get started on the album covers. We could talk for a little while on some of these later ones. I mean, it gets bad, really bad.
It gets bad.
Bucko.
This one for sure is weird. The other ones are bad, but yeah. So this purple guy, like weird, standing on a couple airplanes or something. It's weird. It's weird. But anyway, Fly to the Rainbow. It's kind of a top heavy album for me. It's me, Bucko.
Yeah, it's my buddy.
Oh, okay.
Him and Tyler and I, we game together. We talk. We talk a lot. We got text threads, and yeah, I couldn't tell, and the photo's so tiny, Bucko. I apologize, but the avatar photo is so small. There's 2 heads in there. I couldn't really tell who it was, and I didn't know the Wolverine 259. I forgot he's got that handle. So my bad. Good to see you, Bucko. He just turned 40 on Sunday.
All right. Happy birthday, Buck.
Happy birthday, Bucko.
Cool. Fly to the Rainbow. It's interesting for me. I all this stuff, the next couple albums, I never really heard before. So it was brand new to me, and I enjoyed listening to most of them more than I thought I would. Pretty good stuff. This one, like I said, the first half it's a little bit better. I think overall, it's a little bit more of a hard rock sound, a little bit closer to what they're going towards.
For sure.
But I feel like the whole thing was pretty strong. Like even though the first half was better, the back half I don't think brought it down too much. But I definitely, while I raved about Michael Schenker, definitely Roth's guitar playing, I think, was something that definitely fit better with what they were trying to do, especially now knowing what they were trying to do. Um, I don't know a whole lot about the rhythm. I mean, the not the rhythm, the drum. I don't know much about this guy, and I know they don't get their regular drummer till later on, but he did have some, like, there's some good fills and stuff in there. Like, again, for this guy only really being on, not very many albums, I feel like he's still pretty good. So that's good that they're able to find that talent, I guess. Um, not really. It didn't hit me as good or as well as the first one, but it's pretty similar. I mean, it's not all that far off. Speedy's Coming is a great song. Drifting Sun, Fly People Fly, I really like. The side 5, 6, and 7 are okay. Flight of the Rainbow's got some really cool stuff in it. But overall, I think it's just a step back for me a little bit off of their first one. But again, solid. I really like the direction. I think it's fun, and I think you kind of mentioned it. Is you see the direction that they're going, and it's fun to see that. It's everybody knows these albums. Coming up later, they're '80s albums where they become mega stars.
Oh, huge!
But it's like how did they get there, right? Like
Right.
how did they build up to that? Because these songs aren't Rock You Like a Hurricane, right? Like this is a totally different build up but enjoyable. I really did not. Again, I'll say it again. Later on, there are times where I'm not enjoying myself as much, but I still am enjoying myself with Flight of the Rainbow. So to me, this is number 11. So just a little bit past where I had Lonesome Crow. Good stuff. Like I said, the guitar playing, I think, is always going to come strong for Scorpions. And I think for me, that is, great. I'll always take great guitar playing. These guys have infinite amount of great guitar playing. So I'll take it. Number 11, Fly to the Rainbow. Not the album cover. That gets an F for me.
there's well, as they're lower than F for one of these album covers later. Anyway,
Yeah.
On to In Trance. This is the third album, September 17th, 1975. 10 songs on this one. This is now produced by Dieter Dierks, which is going to go on for, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 albums in a row here. So this is also the first time seeing the Scorpions' iconic font logo that they have. That everybody
right underneath
has
us.
seen. It is right underneath us. Yes, it is. Right there in the middle. Another Piece of Meat is the first song so far of these three albums that I knew for sure, but it's also because it's on Love Drive also, and on Worldwide Live, which we'll talk about later. My favorites on this one are you're gonna notice if I keep this moving here. I don't have a whole lot on some of these albums because I knew this was going to be really long. So my favorites here are In Trance, the title track, Evening Wind. I like the sad guitar, and Klaus is phenomenal on this album. And I like Another Piece of Meat. I like the version of it that's on Love Drive later because it's heavier. It's got a little bit more guitar work in it, but I still like the song. So it fits in here. It just has a more of a classic rock sound here. It sounds a little bit more modern in a few albums when they redid it. Skipper's Sun in My Hand. I didn't really care for Sun in My Hand very much. I didn't really have a note on why I didn't like it, but it was just the one that I was like, I don't really care for this one. This one I have is a C. Also, I have a bunch of these just kind of in a middle C rating. I don't hate them. I don't love them. There's some stuff I like, some stuff I didn't. So it's not great, and it's not all that memorable, and it's very classic rock sounding, but that's not necessarily bad. So it's decent. So I have this as a C and a number 13. What did you think of In Trance?
Uh, right alongside these last two for me. I mean, they're very, very close, very similar. They didn't change a whole lot. I feel like in Trance, which was their first album cover that they got into some hot water over because of the lady that's standing over the guitar shows her bare breast. Um, definitely can see it all.
Not as bad as the next one.
Nope. They get worse.
Unfortunately.
They keep trying to up themselves.
Oh,
So
my goodness. They blame a lot of this on the record company, I will say, though.
They
Say
do.
that it was RCA Records. RCA Records was trying to push the envelope to try to get them exposure. And some of this stuff where in America, it's, even back then, it was kind of like, I don't know. In Europe, a lot of this stuff was more acceptable, I
Yeah.
guess. But they get a lot of crap for it now because these are different times. But
Sure.
this was 1975. And this is a long ass time ago. So things weren't the same. The next album, on the other hand, is, I think that's where it really went too far. But yeah. Anyway, they did get some hot water for these. And every time they say, look, yeah, we cringe when we see them too. But, it wasn't really our choice. They didn't really have a sign off on that.
Yeah.
So,
but
what it
yeah.
is.
So yeah, I feel like even more they're getting closer to more the blueprint kind of what they do. I feel like they really, especially in the title track in Trance, they really start to get a good feel on that secret sauce that they have, where you kind of contrast that dark and the light with their music. I think it's really, really good. Top of the Bill, I really like Robot Man. It's just the harder rock stuff, which I think they do really, really well. The heavier guitar driving hard rock stuff. I think when they get lost a little bit in the sauce of the more classic stuff. Now they have some great like ballads and things like that later on, but I think they're at their best when they're driving hard rock stuff. The Dark Lady, that song rips. The guitar playing absolutely rips. Totally think that there's some great stuff on here. Other than those songs, though, to me, there's not a whole lot of memorable stuff on here. Really, really good, but again, it's all kind of along the same line. So I had the first one at 9, Fly at number 11. This one I have at number 10. So right in the middle of those two. Again, it's all consistent right there. I think this time that they're together, it all kind of fits where it should. I like the stuff obviously in the 80s better, and I like the stuff in the 2000s and later probably worse. So I don't think that's shocking, kind of giving that away here with what I've said. But in Trance, number 10, like C+, like it's solid stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple later ones that I prefer to these, but for the most part, I kind of agree with you. So I don't know. I kind of prefer their more modern sounding stuff than the classic rock stuff here. But
yeah,
it's razor thin. So
sure,
I just have these ranks like maybe a little lower than yours, and I probably have a few of the later ones a little higher. But again, we're probably gonna letter grade them about ended up being the same because these are just none of these are great. So on to Virgin Killer, November 22nd, 1976. 9 songs on here. Dieter Dierks again. Good 2 guitar work in here with Rudy and Uli again. Backing vocals on In Your Park are laughably bad. Guitar work though is good, especially during solo time, which that's where they shine on all of these songs. It almost doesn't matter how bad the song is. When they get to doing guitar solos, it's fantastic. So I can always listen to that. My favorites on here are Pictured Life and Backstage Queen. My skippers are Hellcat and Polar Nights, although Polar Nights has, again, cool solo work as usual. This I have as a C, again, right kind of in the middle, 14 out of the 19. Not great. I like the guitar work for the most part, but I won't revisit it. The album cover that we mentioned, if you want to go look it up on Wikipedia, the main album cover is, I don't know, maybe a 12-year-old girl nude on the cover.
Weird,
with
man.
a crack in the album cover, it looks like, covering a part of her private parts there, which is by design. Like, I don't know what the record company was doing even in 1976 with this, but there's an alternate cover with 5 dudes on it, so just look at that. But if you want to see the other one, it's there. So, and that's what most people saw in most countries. And it's, if there's a below F, that's the below F. So, what did you think of Virgin Killer?
So this one, it's a little bit better than everything so far to me. I feel like this is the first one where I felt like, okay, this is like some of these songs. So Catch Your Train, Pictured Life, and the title track, I think are their 3 best songs they've done so far. Personally, I love all 3 of those songs, but there are quite a bit of misses here. But see, we're putting on these, like, do we weigh when I feel like I love these couple songs so much more than overall album. So it's a tough thing for
Yeah,
me.
absolutely.
It's really
tough for
tough.
me too. Yep.
So, there's some great stuff here. Um, Primarily those songs, but there's still even like Hellcat, Polar Nights. I feel like there's still great guitar work in there too. It's just
There it is.
like, it's hard to sneer at it where it's like, I don't really love these songs, but the guitar work in here is so good, So this one I have right in front of Lonesome Crow. This one's number 8 for me. So again, it's consistent. We're all here in the same area. I just think this is probably, the highs are the highest that I've seen so far by them. So that's where I have Virgin Killer. B minus, say like a low B, high C is kind of where I'm at with all these first handful of albums. So that's where I have it.
Alrighty, on to Taken by Force. This was December 1977. 8 songs on this one. Dieter Dirks again. Just a couple little notes here. I don't like Klaus's vocal choice. I mean, the dude can really sing, but he also makes some weird choices in vocal, what he does with his voice on some songs, where his vocal choice on Steam Rock Fever, I mean, otherwise I like the song, and I think it was one of the singles, or maybe not. But I like the song a lot, but I just don't like his it's catchy, but his vocal choice is odd. Like, the man can sing so well. I don't know why he chooses to sing different ways. I mean, maybe he just gets bored too and to try different stuff. But again, like you have already mentioned a couple times, they keep getting more and more modern sounding, which of course makes sense,
Yep.
as we know, because we're, big fans of their later stuff too, that we know where they ended up. So we're kind of looking for that here, and it just kind of keeps getting more modern sounding as it goes. And this is also the first album with Herman Rarebell on drums that this kind of almost completes their classic lineup. Once, actually, I think it does complete their lineup.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yep. Uli Roth is still on this one. So.
Oh yeah. This is the last one. Yep.
Yep. This is the last one for him. So my favorites are We'll Burn the Sky, which is the second song. Interesting, lyrically written by Monica Denneman and not by one of the members of this band. So I thought that was interesting. And I like the sales of Charon also, or Sharon, depending on how you want to. I know, like in King Diamond, it's Karen, the Charon, but he's got a song on Fatal Portrait called Karen, which is fantastic. But I like this song on here. Skippers are He's a Woman, She's a Man, Stop Sign, and Born to Touch Your Feelings. Too long, and there's some weird spoken word stuff in there that I was like, what is this? So those are odd songs. He's a Woman, She's a Man, I think they did on like a live album or something later on, like in the 20 teens somewhere in there. I'm like, what? But I don't know. And that was a single. It was the first single released off of this one. I didn't really care for that one, but this one I have as a C, also just a straight C. This is kind of the one I like the least out of this run of albums here. So this one I have at 15, at least since the debut and before the good stuff, like these 4 in a row here. This one I like the least. I probably won't be back for this one very much, if at all. So like I said, probably the same for the other ones, but more so this one. So again, I have it kind of rated the same, but a little bit lower number wise. So I have this at 15 out of 19. What did you think of Taken by Force?
So I actually think this one is my favorite of the old ones. And
Okay.
again, just by a spot, they're all lined up together. Um, I I really like a lot of these songs. Steam Rock Fever. Uh, I like Taken by Force title track. I like He's a Woman, She's a Man. We'll Burn This Guy. I like the one you mentioned there, Sales of Charon, whatever. I just think that for it to be John Roth's last kind of goodbye, I feel like that like showcases his guitar playing in that song. I think it's really good. It's a solid album. Again, another album cover, though this one was more just because kids were playing with guns in a cemetery, so people were looking down. I think they were kind of nitpicking at this point, but
Yeah, I mean,
this
yeah,
one,
after the last covers, people are
yeah,
just like looking for, okay,
I
what are they
know.
going to do this time? And they're like, yeah, it's another crap one, but yeah, not really.
Yeah, I was surprised how much I liked this album. So good stuff. Um, again, it's really tough to rank these, but I just happen to like this one the best. This one's number 7 for me, and same thing, like a B minus. All of these first, what is it? The first five albums I have 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So, to me that looked just about right for where I wanted to put these. So,
Sounds good. On to greater and greater and greater things.
oh yeah,
On to Love Drive. This is February 1979. 8 songs. Dieter Dirks again. Here we go. Yes, sir. Let me see here. I lost my spot. Always always somewhere, like I always feel like it's gonna go into Simple Man, by Skinner. It's real close. Like if you listen to that, you're gonna be like, wow, it does. Like it sounds like it's just gonna go, the guitar work in there, it's got Simple Man written all over it. So it's kind of funny. But I freaking love Coast to Coast, the instrumental on here. God, I love that. I love it on the Worldwide Live. I could listen to that over. It's just such a great instrumental song. This is the first album with Matthias after Uli's exit, and then the classic lineup is complete here. Uli had announced he was going to leave. He didn't really like the direction that the band was going because they were going here, and this is where he kind of didn't want to go. So, but the cool thing is he did announce he was leaving, but he also finished the tour for Taken by Force before he left. So good for him. Unlike Michael, who just kind of quit out of nowhere 2 times. You know, Uli John Roth is a professional. He's like, look, I'm gonna do the tour, but I'm done after this. I just don't like where this is going. Good for him. This is considered by some as the pinnacle of their career. Not for me, but by some, especially the people that were really into this band up until this point, because this kind of blends the old kind of classic rock style stuff they were doing with the 80s stuff they were going to do later. This is kind of the bridge in between that. So I can totally see why people that were really into this band in the late 70s, I can see why this was what they consider the pinnacle of their career. So again, a way better version of an already great song and Another Piece of Meat on here. But again, my favorites are Loving You Sunday Morning, Another Piece of Meat, Almost Somewhere. It's a great song, even though it does reminisce Simple Man. But Coast to Coast, Holiday. Now, this band has some amazing, amazing ballads, and part of that is due to Klaus's voice. And I mean, the dude, again, I can't say enough how amazing a singer this guy is. He doesn't get enough credit for how great he's been for so many years. But this is their first really great ballad. Like Holiday, it's fantastic, and it's great on Worldwide Live too. You can hear the crowd singing along. Like it's a fantastic song, and they really write some great ones. But then they try to repeat it over and over again later, and there's a lot of crappy ballads later on, which again, these are the ones that sell, and the bands they kind of fall in love with them, and they try to write the same things over and over, and it just doesn't work. but this one is a great one. So
Mhm.
Skippers, no way on here. This one I have as a B plus. I just like a little bit of the more, recent the upcoming albums. I like a little bit more than this one, but this one I have at number 4, B plus. Lots of good songs, many of which they still play today. This one's loaded. Like, this is a really, really good album. What did you think of Love Drive?
Absolutely love this album. I actually listened to it and was like, man, this is great. And then I found out that Michael Schenker played the solos on like half this album. So it all kind of makes sense to me. Again, nothing against Matthias Yabs because he's phenomenal going forward for this band. But I think everybody on this, it kills. And definitely the songwriting. I feel like this is the first time that they wrote hits, that they wrote songs that people could sing along to, that they're just actual like hit songs, right? Where, these are going to be songs that they're going to play the rest of their career. A lot of these songs that people, really are looking forward to, want to listen to on the radio, those type of things. So I feel like this band definitely got probably more huge here. I'm pretty sure this is their highest selling album to date by far at this point, until their next couple, of course. But yeah, this is great. Um, really, all the songs here are really, really good. Loving You Sunday Morning is a phenomenal opener. Coast to Coast, the instrumental, like you said, is so good. I can't get enough. Is there anybody there? I love the title track. I feel like this album just keeps getting better and better as it goes. Closing with Holiday is just epic. That song is just amazing. They now can add the weepy type ballad to their repertoire. Yeah, this is awesome. I think this is kind of what put them on the map with these other bands that were huge around this time, like the AC/DCs and the Aerosmith. Like, really, really brought them a lot of attention. So Love Drive for me is the first one that cracks the A range. It's an A minus, and it's number 3 for me. Excellent album.
Okay, so we're almost in agreement on that one. Animal Magnetism, March 31st, 1980, 9 songs, Dieter Dierks again. This one, Hold Me Tight is a cool kind of repetitive riff on here, but again, I don't really like the vocal choice by Klaus on here. It's just the way that he sings the song. I just was like, oh man, it's back to doing some weird stuff there. But I love the song The Zoo, but man, does that song feel like it's the most played song by them after Rock You Like a Hurricane. Like, I
Yeah, it is.
swear, almost any time you can turn on any of 8 channels on Sirius and you can hear The Zoo. They play it all the time. There's so many great songs to play by them. And it's just, I guess it's an easy one. It's what everybody can kind of enjoy. It's got a great like slow guitar riff. Everybody's heard it. It is a great song, but I'm just kind of tired of it. Again, I don't blame the band for that, but man, does that still get the crap played out of it today? But that's on here. So I like this album more now than I did back in the 80s. I never gave this one, like, I knew I liked Love Drive, but this one, it kind of got lost, and I don't know why. But this one kind of got lost on me. I do like this one a lot more now than I did then. Make It Real is an outstanding song, written, the lyrics anyway, written by the drummer. Great song, great opener. It sounds great on Worldwide Live. I'm going to mention Worldwide Live every time until we get to it. The Zoo, Animal Magnetism, really cool, dark song. I love that little haunting riff on there. Just fantastic stuff there. Skippers on here. Lady Starlight gets a little boring for me. It's like this last song on like side 1, so track 5 gets a little boring. I mean, if I were to skip one, it'd be that one. But again, this album is better than I have given it credit for over the years. So I have this as a solid B, and I have this number 6. What did you think of Animal Magnetism?
Yeah, this is awesome stuff to me. It does way down in the middle. You kind of mentioned there. I do not love a few of these middle songs. 20th Century Man, not great. Lady Starlight, not my favorite. Falling in Love, not my favorite. But the way that this album opens and closes
Yeah.
to me is just killer. Make It Real. Don't Make No Promises. The song is awesome. Hold Me Tight is good. You mentioned the zoo, that the chunking riff, the dun 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 dun. It's so cool. It's so cool. And
it just
the
goes
title,
on and on.
yeah, the title track is phenomenal too.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, this is a great album, and I'd never have listened to this album before. Obviously, I've heard the zoo, but nothing else on this album I was super familiar with. So it was an exciting listen for me. Again, it was all sounded new because I hadn't really heard it. So I love it. This one is number 4 for me. I placed it right behind Love Drive. Not quite the rememberability, like if that's even a word, rememberability, or the familiarity to go back to Love Drive, but I'm definitely going to go back to Animal Magnetism more now that I've heard it. I'm really impressed by it. So I had it number 4, B plus, really good stuff. Obviously these guys were headed in a monster direction after this.
Monster. Yeah. I feel like this is one too that I might even like those middle songs a little bit more if I go back to this one more often, you know.
Yeah,
Like
maybe.
I feel like I was kind of surprised, kind of like you. I was like, yeah, you know, but I listened to it back then, and I never gave it the credit that I feel like it deserves. And now I'm like, okay, you know, I need to come back and listen to this more often. I mean, there's some great stuff on there which I knew, but maybe some of the rest of it's not as bad as I thought. So anyway, on to Blackout. This is March 8th, 1982. 9 songs. This is where we really enter the 80s. I mean, yes, Animal Magnetism came out in 1980, but this is where we really entered the 80s, and the 3 to 4 minute just banger song after banger song that they seem to crank out here for a few albums. This is Dieter Dirks again, 9 songs. Klaus underwent surgery on his vocal cords, and Don Dokken recorded the demos with the band. None of the recordings ended up on the album with Don Dokken singing, but Don did get some backing vocal credits on here. Rudolph, I guess, couldn't decide which solo he liked more on the song China White. So on the European version, it had a different solo than the US version had, which I thought, I don't think I've ever heard of that before. That's really interesting. He's like, I kind of like them both. He's like, well, let's do some with one and some with another. Like, kind of a cool idea. I almost kind of wish there were more. Yeah, you know, money wise, it's probably, you know, cost them a lot of money to press 2 different types of the albums and the CDs or whatever. But I kind of wish there was more of that, like more variety. Like, hey, I like this solo too. Check this out. It almost sells itself too, right? If you're a real big fan of this band, you're gonna want to have both copies, especially if there's multiple songs like that, right? Like it's kind of a collector thing. I feel like kind of missed out on something here where I'm sure bands have alternate takes of different things. I know that there's 2 versions of I can't remember, on Guns N' Roses. There's 2 versions of the one song. There's different reprises and different versions of different songs, but they put them on the same album just so they can press them all the same. I feel like it'd be cool if they had one on one and one on a different album, you know. Anyway, my favorites on here are Blackout, Can't Live Without You. No One Like You is one of my all-time favorite Scorpion songs. One of the more easy ones you'll ever try to play too. If you want to learn how to play like an 80s style kind of heavy metal hard rock song, go try to play No One Like You. It's pretty simple stuff, but it isn't the most simple stuff always the greatest. Like it's a simple riff, but it's so good. I mean, Rock You Like a Hurricane, again, you know, people are tired sick to death of that song, but again, one of the more easy riffs you'll ever try to play in your life. So I mean, you can pick up the guitar, or you can have somebody pick up a guitar. You can teach somebody how to play that in about 5 minutes. And they can be like, wow, I sound like Scorpions. Like, it's fantastic. You Give Me All I Need is a great song. And also Dynamite. I love Dynamite. Love that song. Skippers on this one, none. I have this as an A minus. This is number 3. I like this one slightly more than Love Drive, just because I'd like a few more songs on this one. But again, I'm also kind of, this was the stuff I liked the best by them, these mid 80s albums here. So these always stood out to me, and I kind of knew that nothing else would kind of overcome them, even though some other stuff surprised me. But I do love me some Blackout. So number 3, A minus. What did you think of Blackout?
Yeah, to me, This is their most complete album for me, front to back. This is the one that I can't find anything wrong with. To me, I could put it on, put it all the way through, and just love every moment of it. This is just I love the song Blackout. The first song on it, it kicks you in the teeth right away. It's
Sure
awesome.
does.
Can't Live Without You, obviously very recognizable song. No One Like You, amazing. You Give Me All I Need. Now, I mean, I could just list all of these. Skippers, not a chance would I skip any of these songs. This is awesome. This is my favorite Scorpion album because of the 1 to 9 greatness, everything you want. It's got ballads, it's got rockers, it's got heavier, it's got soaring guitar solos, it's got everything I want. It's impressive even more. I didn't know that Klaus was having vocal issues during this, and the fact that his voice sounds so good on this album even more just makes me respect it. But Blackout, number 1 for me, and it's an A to an A plus. Really not anything wrong with it, other than it doesn't have as many of the maybe recognizable hits that the next album does. I just think this one is, for me, a better 1 to 9 listen. So Blackout is my number 1, and I'll just say A plus because I said there's really nothing wrong with it. So I will give it a pesky A plus. So
Pesky. Yeah, it's almost like Klaus went and got a tune-up, right?
I know,
like
yeah.
his voice got better. Like the dude went and had surgery, and it got better. Like,
Yeah.
how is that even possible?
I don't know.
Fantastic. It's like they went in and gave him some superpowers in there or something. Fantastic. Love at First Sting, February 13th, 1984. 9 songs. Dieter Dierks again. There is crazy, crazy great solo work all over this album. All over this album.
Yep.
This is the album that just kind of made them mainstream, stadium filling, festival closing giants, and one of the biggest rock bands in the world, along with Journey, Van Halen, a few others. Like at this time, these guys were gigantic when this came out. Favorites on this one: the first four songs: Bad Boys Running Wild, Rocky Like a Hurricane, I'm Leaving You, Coming Home. Coming Home. God, it's so good. Those 4, and then Still Loving You is one of the greatest ballads ever written in the heavy metal, hard rock genre. I mean, it's unbelievable. That song, I've heard it many, many, many times, but it still gives me chills. Like, it's so good. Such a great song. And I'm I'm gonna give them a lot of crap for writing a lot of ballads later that aren't very good, but man, did they nail a few of these.
Yeah,
they
they did.
really did. There's no skippers on here at all for me. This is an A. This is number 2 for me. This is just a huge album for them. This is also the tour they got one of the best live albums ever recorded, in my opinion, also, which I'll talk about briefly before we get to the next album. They were playing 2, sometimes 3 nights in a lot of these cities because they really should have been playing in stadiums because they were just selling out stuff left and right when these songs hit, And big city nights for me is also, it's one of those songs where it gives me like kind of that, you're driving around in the 80s with your windows down, in your hunk of crap car because the air conditioning don't work. And the only thing you have in that car is a decent stereo system. And you got big city nights cranked so loud. Like, I absolutely love it. It just makes me think of summertime, and it makes me think of, driving around at night with the windows down. I love that song so much. And it just gives me feels, like I can feel it. It's so good. So I just absolutely love that song. So number 2, this is an A for me. What did you think of Love at First Sting?
Yeah, we're on the same page, obviously, with this one. Just phenomenal record. To me, and again, I'll bring it up, and we always bring it up. You can't penalize a band for being overplayed. I really am pretty over Rock You Like a Hurricane, as great of a song as it is. Definitely on that list of top 100 songs I never need to hear again. So it might have factored in a little bit when picking my number 1 and number 2. But both of these albums are just so good for me. Blackout and Love at First Sting. To me, it's just there's such big songs. It's really hard to overtake that with other types of albums. So, Bad Boys Running Wild, I'm Leaving You, Big City Nights, like you mentioned, just humongous songs. Still Loving You is probably one of the best rock ballads of all time. Just and Rudolph plays the solos in that song.
Yes.
And I remember watching the live video, and just that guitar outro solo that they plays is one of my favorite moments in rock and roll history. It's just such a big song for them, for longevity. Like, I guarantee, and I'm pretty sure it's it's probably number 2 to Rock You Like a Hurricane with plays on Spotify, those type of things. But good, just great album. It was a really tough choice for me. I do like Blackout a little bit more front to back, but God, this is a huge album. Of course, it's phenomenal. So number 2 for me, it's an A. I'll go back to this probably 1,000 more times in my life. Just really, really great stuff. So Love at First Sting, number 2.
You'll go back to it and you'll still skip song 2.
I will still skip Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Up to next.
Respect it.
On to I'm Leaving You and Coming Home. Those are great songs too, but you wouldn't be sick of those. So
Correct.
It's kind of funny.
Yep.
Okay. In between these here in 1985 came Worldwide Live. This is an A plus. This is the only A plus album for me from them, and it's not even one that we ranked. So
right.
This is an A plus live album for me. This is one of the greatest live albums ever for me, with Live After Death from Iron Maiden. They came out exactly 4 months apart in the same year. Two of the best live albums ever. Yet there's some other great ones out there. There's Kiss Alive 2. There's Right Here Right Now is a great Van Halen live album. But like, these two are stand above the rest. I was telling her while I was listening to some of the more recent albums that I think aren't very good by the Scorpions. I listened to like 3 of them in a row. And I almost needed to cleanse myself of that. So like one day last week, I put on Worldwide Live and I listened to it. I'm not kidding you. I've listened to this album thousands of times. I listened to this album 3 times in a row. I hit the little repeat function on Spotify and I listened to it 3 straight times. I love the whole thing. It's fantastic. Every song on it's awesome. It's all kind of stuff from early in their catalog, up to Love at First Sting. It's great. It's absolute greatness. So I just wanted to mention that. If you just want to hear a fantastic live album, I mean, the guitars, there's one in one ear and one in the other ear, and you can hear, like you said, when you got Rudolph in the left ear and Matthias in the right ear, who's doing the solos. Like, you can picture it in your head. It sounds that good. Where one guy's doing the rhythm stuff and they switch off, like you said, Still Loving You. I know Matthias is doing the rhythm stuff, and then I can hear the solos in my left ear, and that's Rudolph. It's like you can see him on the stage doing it. It's just fantastic. The way it's recorded, the way it sounds, everything, all the songs on it, every song, the way everything about it is fantastic. So it's masterfully done. And that one doesn't get the credit. Live After Death, people kind of agree that that's like the gold standard of heavy metal live albums, right?
Yep.
This one kind of gets mixed reviews, and I don't know why, because it's every bit as good as that one. So I needed to put that in there because I absolutely love it. On to Savage Amusement. This April 18th, 1988. 9 songs. This is the first time I got to see them on tour. Kingdom Come opened. It was really cool. They came up out of the floor. They had money at this point, obviously.
Right.
So I got to see them at the Richfield Coliseum, and like the stadium was like the stage was dark, everything was dark, and there was all this smoke everywhere. And then lights came on, and there was still nothing there. And then out of the floor, they came up so fast. Like, I don't know how. There was no like railings, like, or how now where like you go see TSO or whatever, and they're like leaning on a pole thing, or they have a little strap around them that they don't. They were just standing there with their instruments, and they had to hold them like straight up. Like, I remember this like it was yesterday. They had to hold them like straight up so they didn't clip the edge of the stage. And they came up from underneath the floor so fast. I don't know how they didn't fly up in the air, because they really wanted to make it look like they just appeared there, and it almost did.
Yeah,
because they came up so fast. I was like, whoa. And then they leave that little square that they were standing on, and there was nothing there for them to lean on or hold on to. Nothing. It was crazy. So, but fantastic stuff. They kind of they turned themselves into master ballad writers, master master ballad writers with Still Loving You. And then on this album, they have another fantastic one, and Believe in Love is just another great ballad. So they keep kind of trying to up their game, and they keep writing some great ballads here, at least on these albums. Like I said, it's going to get old fast, but this one is another great one, and this one kind of doesn't get the play that Still Loving You does. So you kind of wouldn't get sick of this one, but this one is one that gets stuck in my head. Like I wake up in the morning a couple of days later, and I've still got Believe in Love stuck in my head. But it's cool because they have great guitar work in them too. Like you mentioned, Rudolph in Still Loving You, like this one too. There's outstanding guitar work. There's guitar solos in the ballad. Like that's kind of what makes them so good. You know, it's not only a great song and it's slow and drippy, but it also has great guitar work in it, which is just a constant theme for them. And how could you not like that? This is the first time I got to see them. Like I said, the only time I really ever needed to see them, the set list on this one was just, it was kind of a mix of Worldwide Live with like 3 songs off of this album, it was just so perfect for me. Like they played just about every one of my favorite songs off of all of these last 5-6 albums. Like it was just greatness. It's one of those shows I'll never forget. I was 16. Like I just turned 16. It was fantastic. My favorites on this one are Don't Stop at the Top. It's another song. It's another great opener. Another one that kind of sticks with me. I was just humming that today, and I hadn't listened to this album for 4 or 5 days now, and that one's just stuck in my head for whatever reason. Don't Stop at the Top. Rhythm of Love's a great song. Passion Rules the Game. They didn't play every night on that tour, but they played it here. Walking on the Edge is a great song. Every Minute, Every Day I love. Also, Believe in Love, again, I just mentioned, is such a great ballad. There's no skippers on this one. This is an A/A+. This is number 1 for me. It's my favorite Scorpions album, but Love on the Run, the song Love on the Run, the 8th track, is the only one that makes this a borderline A+ album for me. That's the weakest track on here. I don't want to skip it. It's weak enough to where it kind of brings it down to an A level and kind of between an A and an A+. And also the production on this one, for whatever reason, the production isn't as good as it was on any of the previous like 4 albums. So I don't know why it's the same producer, or maybe it was mixer trouble, or maybe they had, some different problems recording it. I'm not sure. It just doesn't sound as good. I mean, it's minor, right? It doesn't sound bad. It just doesn't sound as good as the previous like 4 albums. And I couldn't figure out what changed there. But so those 2 things kind of just knock it down to about an A. But anyway, this is my number 1 album for Scorpion Savage Amusement. What did you think?
I'm really, really surprised that this is your number 1. Kind of out of left field, but that's cool. I honestly, once you passed all these albums and your number 1 hadn't hit yet, I'm like, which one is he going to pick for number 1 here? But this is a good pick for sure. To me, I don't think this production holds up well. It sounds like overproduced for me. Like it almost sounds, it sounds non-Scorpions in a lot of ways, because I think you think that these last 4 albums is how Scorpions should sound and how they should be produced. Definitely sounds very, very different. But I agree with you. The songs here are really, really good, especially where they're strong. I love Don't Stop at the Top. You mentioned they're very good at album openers. A lot of bands are, but Scorpions is one of them. Those bands for sure. Rhythm of Love is great. Believe in Love, you mentioned, it's so good, so good. Every Minute, Every Day is really, really good. Walking on the Edge is really good. This is a great album for sure. For me, it only kind of falls behind just because I love these like last 4 albums so much. I have this at number 5. I mean, predictably so. It's after these last 4, after Blackout and Love at First Sting, Love Drive, and I do like Animal Magnetism a little bit better. But this one is right after that. Number 5 and I have it as a B plus. Good stuff.
All right, on to Crazy World. Yeah, I don't always fall into the
No, good for you. No,
into
I've
the
had the same thing for sure with some of my picks. I
yeah, I
again,
don't
it's
always fall into the same groove that everybody else
yeah,
agrees on. Like this is my favorite one.
yeah,
I like the whole collection of songs more than all the other
yeah,
albums.
for sure.
So, like Media Overkill, like you mentioned,
Yep.
Walking on the Edge, like every song on here except for Love on the Run. It's the only one that I'm like, okay, this song's okay,
Yeah.
but the other ones I love them all. So it's yeah,
Oh,
it's just the
again,
way it is. Yep.
I think between the two of us, I think, and while I'm saying I'm surprised this is your number one, I can see it. Like I can totally see it, especially the time it came out. Your age, you've seen them for the first time.
Mhm.
Like this is like almost the culmination of these other albums to you, right? So it
Yeah.
just it makes sense. It adds up. So
Yeah, that's definitely part of it.
yeah,
But also it's just I tend to like I think more of the 80s style stuff,
hmm
which also leads me to rank some of these more later albums a little higher than you did, where you
yeah,
have the earlier albums a little higher.
yeah,
I kind of just have those flip flopped. I think we all agree, we're probably both going to agree on where those albums are all like kind of close, or they're all not great, right? But you like a certain type a little bit more than I like, and I like the other type more. So it's just like you said, this is kind of like the marriage of the two things on
yeah.
kind of all these albums. But
Yep.
these are we're coming on back to back like A albums for me, and an
Sure.
A plus live album. Like they're all right there. So anywho, on the Crazy World.
Bob's taste is against the grain.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
Well,
at least sometimes. I mean, everybody, yeah, you like what you like, right? So,
I think you forget my name's also Bob. So that's the funny part.
oh yeah. Well, yeah, maybe we're both against the grain. Bulldozer goes against the grain.
Bulldozer goes against the grain.
Bulldozer goes against the odds, and Bulldozer goes against the grain. So, if you don't know what that is, you got to go listen to some Machine Head. Anyway, Crazy World, November 6th, 1990. Oh, it's a good grain. Yeah, it's good. It's like wheat, or corn. It's a good solid grain. You can build off of that, right?
Right. You can build a loaf of bread.
You can build a loaf. You can make whiskey, right? So I mean,
Yep.
it's a good base.
Right on.
So anyway, Crazy World, November 6th, 1990, 11 songs. This is Keith Olsen. So I wonder if was Dieter Dirks busy? Was he not feeling well? Or did they not like the production of the last album?
Yeah, there you
So
go.
I think maybe that might have something to do with it. But this is quite a drop off for me of the last like 3 to 4 album greatness, 5 albums even, but it's still pretty good. This one, there's 2 more killer ballads on here, which after this is when they kind of jump the shark on the ballads, but
Yep.
there's 2 killer ballads on this one. Now I'm kind of Winds of Change. I'm Rock You Like a Hurricane with Winds of Change.
Oh,
Like
for sure.
if I don't, now that damn whistling is gonna be stuck in my head. When I just when I just mentioned the song title, I'll be whistling that song tomorrow, even without listening to it. I can't help it. But I mean, is there ever, between that and like Patience from Guns N' Roses, like it's one of the probably 5 best whistling songs ever written. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's such an earworm. But
Yep.
anyway, Send Me an Angel is also fantastic song. So my favorites on here are again, this is a drop off, but it's not a total drop off. There's Tease Me, Please Me is really good. Don't Believe Her I like a lot. Winds of Change is great, but I'm tired of it. I'll
Yep.
still whistle it for days. Hit Between the Eyes I like a lot. It's kind of Motley Crue-ish though. It's kind of starting to get away from the Scorpion sound a little bit. The verses in that one and the kind of the overall song structure is very Motley Crue-ish, almost kind of a punk ish kind of verse style in there. But but it's still a great song. Send Me an Angel, also great. As I mentioned, Restless Nights. That's a skipper for me on this one. Don't really care for that one all that much. Jim Valance makes an appearance in songwriting. It wasn't Desmond Child yet. He'll be later.
Oh boy.
But this is Jim Valance helping them write songs, which again, these guys don't need help writing songs. They've written 5 great albums in a row. They don't need help writing songs. I don't know why why they do this. Drives me nuts. So anyway, Restless Nights I didn't care for. So this is a solid B. This is number 5. It's good. Some songs just aren't as solid and memorable. I mean, I had high hopes for this one because of how much I like Savage Amusement, but I was really disappointed then, as I kind of am now. I didn't really get much more from this now than I did, back then. It was just, it's okay. It's good in spots. Really good in a couple spots, but it's unfortunately it's all downhill from here after this one, man. It really is. And it gets really bad here really quickly for me. So the Crazy World, B, number 5. What'd you think of Crazy World?
God, this was such a huge album for them. 7
I know.
million copies worldwide.
It's the culmination, though. Like
It
you
is.
said, this is why I was disappointed, because I went out and bought this like the day it came out. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go, and then you buy it and you're like, okay, well, wasn't that good?
Yeah, well, in early 90s too. I mean, this was a tough time for them. This was kind of when all the the music was changing over, and it's a tough.
I think they kind of beat that with this one, though. A
No,
little
they
bit.
definitely did. Again,
and they
show
wrote it, in kind of mid 1990 ish.
You're right. You're right. But again, just humongous. Like, you couldn't
Yeah.
go anywhere and not hear that song.
Oh,
Wind of Change.
Oh,
It
my
was
goodness.
everywhere. It was on the radio. It was on MTV. That video we've seen a million times.
you hear people whistling it walking down the street.
Oh, yeah.
You can't get away from it. You want to whistle it again?
But
No,
as
I'm
sick of that song as I am, I absolutely love the solo in that song.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
so good.
I know.
Like,
That's
the
what they
song
do
is
so well.
The song is so well written.
Mhm.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of with you here. This is a good album. It's just, unfortunately, it's not where these other ones were. There's some great songs on here. I feel like maybe they're starting to go a little too long with the albums. A couple songs too many, I think. Tease Me, Please Me is good. Don't Believe Her is very good. Of course, Wind of Change. I like Restless Nights for sure. Send Me an Angel, and definitely the title track, Crazy World, I think is pretty good too. Other than that, though, it's largely forgettable for me. But again, definitely for me, one of the last albums that I will say was pretty damn good. This is for me number 6.
All right.
And I'm at a B. Again, I would always skip Wind of Change, but I do still to this day. I will wait it out just to hear that awesome guitar part. It's amazing. These guys are just, these guitar players are just so awesome. So,
And that's your boy Rudolph doing
Rudolph,
lead
he has
on
my
Wind of Change.
again. Yabs is great with his lead work too, but all my favorite solos by them is Rudolph Schenker. It's just, when he decides to play a lead part, he nails it.
Yeah.
There he is.
There he is. There he is. Yeah, when he picks his spots, and he knows, he's like, I got the solo on this one. They're probably like, you go ahead, man, you got it.
He does the lead on Send Me an Angel too.
Yeah, of course he does. Yep. He does it generally, like you said, the ballads, like they have solos in all of those ballads, and it's almost always him. So and they're so memorable, so good.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm just gonna recall them like Rudy and Maddie for now, I think. But for now,
RS and MS.
You're right. MJ.
Yeah.
All right, so on to Face the Heat, September 21st, 1993. 11 songs here. This is Bruce Fairbairn of Bon Jovi production fame and band produced. Audibly, sounds good. Songs, not so much.
Right.
Taxman Woman. Huh? What? Taxman Woman. All right. So we got the song Woman, and then 2 songs later we got Taxman Woman. I don't know what are we doing here. Unholy Alliance has got a cool sounding guitar and a terrible chorus. The what are we doing here? It's bad.
Right.
It's really bad. Unholy Alliance. Favorites on this one: Alien Nation. I love that song. No Pain, No Gain. Ship of Fools. I love the driving bass line, even though the song is just okay. I just kind of like that, Buckholz kind of has a song here that kind of he drives, which is pretty cool, and it's got a cool little bass line that drives the whole song. But the song is just okay. But I like that part of it a lot, so I put it in my favorites. But I was really reaching, honestly. Lonely Nights is actually still pretty good. But is that? Yeah, it's the last track on here, so it's pretty good. Skippers, Under the Same Sun, Woman, Hate to Be Nice, the weird yelled vocals by Klaus, kind of Suicidal Tendencies ish. I kept waiting for him to ask for a Pepsi, but he never did. So I was like, "What? Who is this?" And then Taxman Woman, that was not very good either. So I got a lot of Skipper. There's some songs I like here, but some Skipper. This one's kind of like the dark and the light, kind of good and bad. There's a group of songs I really like and a group of songs I really didn't like. So this one's just right in the middle with a C, and this one's again kind of middle of the catalog. It's 11. I like it, a lot more than some of these other ones coming up here. But it's a big fall off from where they just were, even from Crazy World. So it's big fall off. So that went from 5 to 11 for me. So a couple decent to good songs. The rest is just not very good. What did you think of Face the Heat?
For me, it went from 6 to 12. So we're kind of in the same ballpark there.
Lockstep, man. It's funny.
So this is my favorite of the late stuff of mine.
And this was 32 years ago, 33 years ago. Not really late. But yeah, that's not good for you. Oh,
no, this was when it all turned around for me, because up to now I was feeling pretty good about Scorpion's discography. I was like, man, I feel great about this. But unfortunately, we had so many albums to go. This was really tough going forward here. They go very poppy now going forward. A lot of the pop influences, they're getting away from the rock influences. Like you mentioned before, like they go crazy with the ballads going forward, and they're not very good. It started off really, really tough with Alien Nation. I was like, this is good. This is pretty good. Not much after that. Woman was okay. And then Lonely Nights, the closer, is probably the three that probably deserve any kind of call out. The rest of it for me, largely forgettable. Again, it's not terrible listening to it. It's just kind of boring. It's just not great to me. So it's a C range album, going to be number 12 for me. And it is literally all downhill from here. So I'm going to try to stay as positive I can going forward, but this is going to turn into a lot of what our discography rankings. Some of them that come to mind are like Def Leppard, Bon Jovi. Like some of these just get really bad down the stretch here, and that's kind of where these guys do for me. So
I have a little bit more positivity, but admittedly, I might have been trying to reach a little too much. Again, I have a lot of these some of them, not a lot of them. Some of them kind of ranked in a general area where some of the earlier ones that kind of went together for me. Again, it's a matter of what you like, and but I really tried. I think maybe I tried too hard to be positive on some of these because I didn't want to believe they were all garbage, even though I kind of felt like I knew they were. But anyway, let's get the really bad ones out of the way first.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's go to Pure Instinct. This is May 21st, 1996, 11 songs, and I think we're going to agree here. This is the bottom of the barrel. I mean, bad. Now, first I was mad because I couldn't find these albums on Spotify, right? Now, I know why they're not on Spotify, because they're absolute garbage. They really are. So this was Erwin Musper and Keith Olsen and band produced. Weird album cover. Again, they started going, now this isn't even RCA Records. They can't blame them for this one, but you got nude people inside a cage surrounded by animals like the people are in the zoo. Now, okay, I get it. It's kind of like all right, like the people are in the zoo. I get that, but do they all have to be nude? Like
it's not only that, but it's like, for you gamers out there, it's like the Nintendo 64, like cheesy looking graphics, like, or PlayStation 1.
Okay,
it's not realistic. It looks horrible.
It's like they placed a picture of a tiger in here and placed it's real bad Photoshop.
Oh, it's horrible. Oh, it's so bad. And then when you start playing it, it's even worse.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we haven't even got to that part yet.
Yeah.
So maybe trying to avoid that. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's very strange. I don't know what they were trying to do there. There's barely any electric guitar on this
None.
album with 2 guitar players, and there's barely any electric guitar on here. There's lots of acoustic and real quiet guitars, kind of almost everywhere, but there's no real like standout. Like what happened to the Scorpions? Anyway, we'll get through this quick. Favorites, Wild Child, I guess, is decent, and Oh Girl is catchy. That's all I could come up with as positives on this one. Skippers, but the best of you, but the best for you. I just wrote, yikes, what is this? No thanks. And then, does anyone know why this 6-minute ballad is on this album? I don't know. You and I, and most of the rest of this album is really not good. This is like D plus C minus range, and I'm being nice with that. I guess it's not truly terrible. Like we've actually listened to some terrible albums, but
Yeah.
compared to where this band was, it's not good at all. I mean, it's garbage for what this band is capable of doing. This is garbage. Not very memorable, pretty boring throughout, and there's so many slow ass ballads on here. I didn't even bother naming them. It's like half the album. Again, there's a lot of acoustic guitar. I don't know what kind of folk stuff they were going for on here, but it's just not good, and it's not Scorpions at all. I don't know what this is. What did you think of Pure Instinct? I have a C minus number 18 out of 19.
I also have it number 18 out of 19. I also have it. I don't even know. It's however disrespectful. I'm going to try not to get with it. But, like I don't even like the production. I kind of feel like what we were talking about with early 90s. I feel like they were lost. Like they didn't know what to do here. Like they couldn't. They're like an 80s band that really tried to fit in with the times. But this was, it's just a shadow of themselves. Like you said, there's just so many ballads. Wild Child is okay. I actually didn't mind Does Anyone Know? To me, that was kind of like, okay, maybe with some work, this could have worked out okay. But largely, this is really bad. I would never listen to this again. Again, number 18. I'm going to give it a D plus, and because of really there's really one, that Wild Child, I think, is really the only song.
Yeah.
Like if I was making a mix album and I was even including 100 of the best Scorpion songs, maybe Wild Child would be on there, but that's it.
At 99, 97,
yeah, maybe
somewhere in there, maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it would be hard really to shoehorn any of these songs into a top 100. I think you're right. I mean, that would be rough. It's not good. All right, so things get worse.
They do.
On to Eye to Eye. This is March 9th, 1999. There's 14 songs on here. Produced by Peter Wolf. Oh, interesting. From Jay Giles. Anyway, who is this? U2? Is this U2 we're listening to here? The first 3 songs are total garbage, and if it wasn't for Klaus, you'd never know it was Scorpions at all. It's the only recognizable thing on here is Klaus's voice. This is mostly garbage. This is even worse than the previous album. It's unrecognizable. I mean, it's some part of me trying to be positive wants to give them credit for trying to update their sound, but yikes, man, this doesn't work. It's not them. Anytime bands go this far off the rails, it almost never works. I can't think of a single time where I'm like, hey, they wrote this totally different album and it actually is pretty good. Like it just doesn't work for a band that you really like. Like, what are they doing? Are they looking for new fans? Or again, I think you hit it where you said they kind of lost themselves and they're like, hey, this whole music landscape has changed from where we were. Like, let's try to fit in. Let's try to do something different. It just doesn't work. My favorites, I guess, this is going to sound weird, but Mind Like a Tree. I know that's the actual name of a song on here. I know you probably don't know that if you're listening out there because it's not on Spotify and you have trouble finding it. Don't go look for it. It's not worth it. But Mind Like a Tree is the name of a song. It doesn't sound at all like the Scorps, but at least it's sort of heavy. That's all I could say. And Aaliyah is okay, I guess. Skippers are to be number 1. Eye to Eye. Freshly Squeezed would get freshly skipped every time I listen to it. Most of the rest of this is really bad. Oh boy. This is a D plus, number 19. This sounds nothing like Scorpions, and the songs pretty well suck. It's not good. What did you think of Eye to Eye?
So is this like techno slash
Techno Scorps.
rap slash?
Oh no.
But yet, like every song is a ballad, but it's like a techno-y. So I'm almost speechless because like this, like they're not a boy band. They're are they? Like this is a pop record. This is
really
a pop band. They're definitely not a pop techno boy band. They're supposed to be a hard rock heavy metal giant. This is nothing like that. Nobody in the world can tell me that this is good music. It's not. There's no good no good song. I can't be positive. This is straight trash. Number 19 without even like I remember like starting to listen to this and I was like I had to go back and look at my YouTube to make sure that this is Scorpions. Like this is the same. It's 19. I'm just gonna give it an NA because I don't want to give it what I want to give it, but I'm gonna give it
an NA. I like it.
NA. But this is 19. Easy 19. Horrible.
Easy. Maybe we should just leave it at easy 19.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. An NA. I like that. I'm going to use that. One that I don't want to be too harsh on, but I just don't know what to rank. I'm going to go NA.
Really, really bad.
I'm just going to abstain from ranking that one entirely or giving it a letter grade. All right, on to Humanity Hour and a little bit brighter things. Humanity Hour 1 is the name of the album. There was a weird Moment of Glory in here. It's an album recorded in collaboration with the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra.
I think you skipped Unbreakable also.
Did I? I did. Well, I guess that's probably worth skipping. No, anyway, you're right. I did. Unbreakable came up before. Oh my goodness. Yeah, sorry. Moment of Glory did come out in between here though, and I don't really know what. There's like, I think there's some new songs on here, or is it all just instrumental? Maybe Moment of Glory might be the only song on here that's like a new song. Anyway.
I didn't have to listen to it, so I didn't listen to it.
I didn't either. I just saw it pop up and I'm like, what is this one in between? I didn't even realize that it was in here. So anyway, on to Unbreakable, my bad. May 4th, 2004, 13 songs. This is Erwin Musper and band again. New Generation is the best song I've heard in the last 3 albums here, but that's not saying a whole lot. But that one's okay, I guess. First half is pretty good, I guess, until maybe maybe you. It's kind of a bore fest. So I kind of like it sort of up until that point. The first 5 songs are decent. But I guess Maybe You is a popular ballad for them, and Klaus sounds great on it.
Yep.
But that's kind of it though until near the end. So my favorites are New Generation. It's got a cool riff, kind of boring ballady verses though, and weird kids chant at the end. I don't know kind of what was going on there. I mean, I guess it's New Generation, so they have weird kids chanting in there. But it's kind of like a ballad, but then it kind of picks up and has a cool riff like in the chorus. It's weird. Love 'Em or Leave 'Em's okay. Deep and Dark's got a great solo. Blood Too Hot, Through My Eyes. These songs aren't great. They're just they're the best of this album, but they're not really great songs. But I tried to be positive and pick some stuff there. But Maybe You. I just don't like that. I do love some of their ballads, obviously, but just not this one. And I would skip She Said also, which is the 12th song. This album's a little long, but it's much better in spots than the last 2 albums, and it's kind of top heavy with the first 5 songs being kind of the best this album has to offer, which isn't great. But so I have this as kind of a number 9, I think. No, C plus. Again, these are all kind of run together for me. I probably looking back, maybe I'd rate a couple of the older ones ahead of this one because this one isn't great either. But I kind of listening to them all in order. I had these two just gigantic turds of albums,
Yep.
and then I listened to this one, and I was just like, "Wow!" Like the skies brightened, Like I don't know, maybe I overrated it a little bit because of that. But anyway, yeah, number 9, C plus, mid range. What did you think of Unbreakable?
Yeah, remember when I said the Face the Heat was the best of the rest going forward?
Yeah.
This is the second best of that rest going forward. And you're absolutely right. It's very top heavy. New Generation's good. I love Deep and Dark. Well, love is, I shouldn't say that. It's a little exaggerated there, but good song. And Blood Too Hot isn't too bad either. So all these songs that I think are decent are in the first half of the album. Then it completely loses me. I don't mind Maybe I, Maybe You. I think I agree. I think the verses are good enough that it sounds enough like Scorpions. I was like, okay, like I could see this. After those last two Abominations, this is more back to rock, right? At least it's you could hear the electric guitar playing, and that's exciting for me. I was like, all right, so Unbreakable is going to be number 13 for me, and it's in the solid C range. Decent enough for where they're at in their career. Nothing I'd probably come back to, but solid, solid compared to for sure where they're at.
Yeah, I'm gonna say too these where I'm gonna sound sort of somewhat positive on some of these.
Yeah.
I'm probably not coming back to a lot of this stuff either. So just to throw that out there. Okay, now on to Humanity, Hour 1.
You were just such a hurry to get to this one.
I just really wanted to get to this one.
I know.
For all of the mediocreness that it is.
Yep.
So this is James Michael and Desmond Child. So he got involved a little too late, I think, with the Scorpions. He should have got in on Savage Amusement or Crazy World in there. Maybe he was busy with Bon Jovi or who knows what else. Kiss. I don't know. Kind of doesn't sound as much like Scorpions as it does kind of. This is where they get into the adult kind of
contemporary
radio rock, contemporary rock stuff.
Yep.
Decent songs. There are some decent songs here. The only thing that makes it sound like Scorpions again is Klaus. Like almost all this newer stuff, except for maybe an album or two coming up here. There is a little bit of Scorpion sound in there, but mostly it sounds like Scorpions because it's Klaus singing and he's just unmistakable. We Will Rise Again could have been written by 3 Days Grace. It's got 3 Days Grace written all over it. Again, it's not Scorpions, but it's a decent song. This album has lots and lots of plays, man. All the songs are over 1 million. Most of them are over 2 million. This is the highest totals in many, many albums. And
That's weird.
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't
know.
There's a couple more of these later on where I'm going to be like, there's like 3 songs with over 10 million listens on a couple of these albums. And I'm like, what? Like, who's listening to this stuff? And it's not the Scorpions fans of old, I don't think, because most of them are going to be like, this stuff just isn't that great. But man, I don't know. They're still doing it, and they're still getting people to listen to these. I don't know who is, though, but I was just surprised at the numbers. My favorites on this one are The Game of Life. 321 has some cool guitar in it. Again, I'm going to say that a million times. Either I like Klaus's voice or it's got some cool guitar in it. That's about the only songs I like on a lot of these albums.
Yeah.
Love is War, and then Humanity, the title track. Skippers, none really. There's not a song that really stands out that I can't stand, but a good chunk of it is just kind of in the okay range. It's just not real good and not very memorable. This is like a C plus. I have this at number 10, so I have this a spot below the previous one. Again, these are all kind of together for me. Where yours were the earlier albums in this range, that's what I was mentioning. This is the range for me for these albums. Those ones are a little behind these, but if I were to go through this catalog again, I might switch them because I don't know. Anyway, decent stuff, but pretty far removed from Scorpions on this one. I guess sort of decent, but whatever. C plus, number 10. What did you think of Humanity, Hour 1? And what happened to Hour 2? Is there an Hour 2?
I'm glad there wasn't an Hour 2. Yeah. To me, this wasn't very good for me. It just sounded all over the place. To me, it sounded like a piecemealed Desmond Child / James Michael / Billy Corgan contributed on it.
Oh, did
Plus, John 5 contributed on it.
he? I'm about tired of John 5 these days. I'm going to tell you right now. I am about tired. John 5 is everywhere. I'm sick of his look. I'm sick. I mean, the dude's a fantastic guitar player, but I'm sick of everything else about John 5 right now, and I don't know why.
We got Eric Bazillion, who actually is famous for writing "One of Us" by Joan Osborne.
Oh, I didn't know
he
that.
contributed on this album. Russ Irwin. I'm just naming stuff off this album so I don't have to talk about the music of this album.
Harry Summerdahl.
Yeah. So a lot of contributors to this, but again, it just, to me, it sounded all over the place. I guess a couple decent songs. I didn't mind the title track, Hour One, Into the Game of Life. 3-2-1 is okay. The closer is the title track.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very good. I have it 17, but it is quite a bit better than 18 and 19. So there is that.
It's got that going for it.
It's got that going for it. It's a C-. So I'm only going to give those last two a D and an NA. This one will get a C-.
Okay.
Again, there's guitar in there. Some songs are okay. It's not terrible, but to me, it's the furthest away from Scorpions that still is listenable. Like it's not Pure Instinct. It's not Eye to Eye, but to me, it's still on the too far out there. It's just very messy, sloppy, not the Scorpions. So I have it number 17 and a C-.
You know, and I hadn't really looked at this while I was listening to these, but it's kind of making more sense to me as I'm looking. Rudolf Schenker, I mean, was like, the music had been almost entirely written by Rudolf Schenker in like those great 80s albums, right?
Correct.
On these albums, there's like, he's only involved in the songwriting on maybe half, less than half of the songs on these albums, on that album, on this next album, Sting in the Tail, same thing. And there's so many outside songwriters, so maybe that's why these just aren't as good. Now Klaus is still writing all the lyrics, and he's got a lot more songwriting credits in the music part of it. But like, why is Rudolf Schenker only writing like 5 songs or 4 songs or 6 songs out of 12? Like that, maybe
he just can't do it anymore. Dude's an old guy,
right? And maybe he's just kind of bored with it. I don't know, but it's shocking to me that you still have all of the same basically songwriters in this band, and why it just went so far off the rails. It's baffling to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sting in the Tail, March 14th, 2010, 12 songs. This was produced by Michael Nord Anderson and Martin Hansen.
Those guys.
I like those guys. They're going to produce the next one too. I like the production with the guitars more forward on this one, but that's about the best thing about this album, I think. Again, this is kind of middle range. I had this rated too high, I think. So I don't know. It kind of sounded a little bit more old Scorpions, a little less contemporary adult oriented rock, but I don't know. I'm splitting hairs. Again, I'm trying to be positive with these.
Yeah.
But, this one cracked me up because can we fit any more rock names in the album? Raised on Rock, Rock Zone, Let's Rock, Spirit of Rock. Like, how many times? And this is a theme not only on the albums, but in the album name. The last album is Rock Believer, but there's so many. I swear there's a dozen tracks on these last 3 albums with the word rock in them. It's just kind of funny. They're almost trying too hard with the rock. Yeah. Bingo.
I just think at this point, I think it's what H said. They're either bored or they're too old to do it well anymore. I mean, they're like 80 years old now, right? Like they're old guys.
Yeah, they were supposed to retire like 10 years ago. I think Return to Forever was supposed to be their last album. Return to Forever was supposed to be it. And then they recorded another one in 2022, and they're still touring, even though they did their farewell and they did their Las Vegas residency was going to be the end. And that was like 4 or 5 years ago already. Yeah, they're all they're all getting very old. So Anyway, back to Stinging the Tail. I mentioned all the rock names. My favorites are one of those, Raised on Rock, Stinging the Tail, and No Limit are the three that I kind of sort of like on this one. Skipper's Good Die Young. It's tough because I like the chorus, but I hate the spoken word verses. So I'm kind of torn on that one. But I don't know. It seems like it's mostly spoken word stuff. I'm like, what are we doing? A guy that can sing like Klaus, and we're doing spoken word stuff. Lorelei, again, just doesn't work for me. And then the SLY, I don't know what that stands for. I didn't look it up. It's a bit boring. It's all caps. So SLY must mean something. It's not just sly, but I don't know. It's boring. So I'd skip that one too. Again, it's another C plus. I guess C plus. This had this, middle range, 8, 9, somewhere in there. I like it slightly more than the previous two, I guess. I don't know. A bit top heavy for the songs I do like. They're kind of in the beginning of this album. Couple too many ballads, but I guess that's what they're known for these days. The Best Is Yet to Come is probably the best of the bunch. I think there's like 4 ballads on here, and The Best Is Yet to Come is the last song. It's not one of my favorite songs on here, but it's probably the best of the 3 or 4 ballads that are here. So for me, it's the one that sounds the most like old Scorpions ballads, I guess. But again, just middle of the road stuff. What did you think of Sting in the Tail?
Top heavy, like you said, except for it's not super heavy. It's top top whatever. I don't
top
even
rock. We go top rock.
Top rock. Okay.
Top rock.
Raised on Rock, Sting in the Tail, Slave Me is okay. The vocal performance, I don't know who this Tarja Taranen is, but I think the two of them between Maine and Terunen, I think are fine together. But after that, it gets really boring to me. I don't know. I just feel like they don't have an album of stuff to write. I don't know why they continued to do it. Number 14 for me, still in that same C range. I mean, all this stuff is just about the same to me. It's not real good overall, not real memorable, but there's moments where it's like, all right, like the title, like not the title track. The title track is pretty good, but Raised on Rock is, again, album openers. I feel like they put their best into it, but 12 songs. Do we need 12 songs of this stuff? No.
No.
Give me a couple.
Yeah.
So yeah, not great, but 14. That's where I'm
okay.
at.
Speaking of number of songs, I shared this with you earlier, and I'm going to share it again here. Speaking of number of songs, okay, so this next album, Return to Forever, right? So I'm listening to these on Spotify, other than the 2 that aren't on Spotify, and for good reason because they suck. But I'm listening to these on Spotify, and every one of these albums, if I just listen to the non-remastered whatever version, I'm getting the same number of tracks that's on the regular album, right? So I stopped looking because it's 19 albums. So I just kind of kept going. There's only one version of Return to Forever on Spotify, and there's only one version of Rock Believer on Spotify, the next 2 albums. Well, Return to Forever, the version that's on Spotify, it's got 19 songs on it. So I'm like, man, this must have been a double album. Well, I punished myself into listening to 19 songs when the album only has 12 songs on it. So not only is this not great, I also punished myself and listened to 7 more songs than I really needed to, and had them in my favorites and skippers. Now I've since removed those for time saving purposes. But yeah, that was very interesting. So I punished myself. So this is Anderson and Hanson again. I'm not going to go back and look up their first names. I think this was supposed to be their last album. I'm pretty sure the production's a bit flat. It doesn't sound as good as Sting in the Tail did. But these songs, this is where I wanted to mention, these songs still get lots of plays, which surprised me. One had 10 million, one has 12, one has 17 million listens on this album. Like that's insane. They're not remakes of older songs. I don't know. There's lots of filler on this album. I have one song that I really liked on here, and it's called We Built This House. It's the only one. It's the second track. I didn't really care for anything else on here. The Skipper's Rock My Car has a cool riff, but man, that is the most laughable. I'm glad you laughed because that is the most laughable song on here. It's a cool riff, but man, it's just a laughable song. You're like, what are you doing? Like these 70-year-old dudes, Rock My Car. Oh man. House of Cards I didn't like. Rollin' Home. They have a country song now? There's a country song, and Rollin' Home is a country song. if you listen to it. Like, this got country written all over it. I don't know if this was the Bon Jovi, crossover thing. Did they do a crossover event on
Crossroads or
DMT
what are they?
Crossroads on? Yeah, did they do
I
Crossroads on
don't think so.
DMT? Because, man, Rolling Homes got country written all over it. I Had the Storm I didn't like. The Scratch? Like, what is the Scratch? I don't know. Like, it sounds nothing like Scorpions. I don't know what that is either. This is a C minus. This is the worst of all of the newer ones for me. Or no, it isn't, because the other two are worse. Anyway, this is number 16. I don't even know where I have this, but I have it way down near the bottom. Out of 19 albums, I have it 16. This is not good. There's a couple okay songs. There's one song I like, but tons of filler and lots of boring. What did you think of Return to Forever?
Yeah, I think some people did like this. I was looking
Telling
at
you,
some
it's got
it's
huge views and listens. I don't know how.
So I guess a lot of these are old songs that they kind of pulled off the scrap heap that didn't make it on any other album. So they were at least written during their heyday, but they just don't sound great.
No. There's a reason they didn't make it on those other albums.
Right. They got dropped because they probably weren't worth it. But I like the first two songs, the Going Out with a Bang and We Built This House. That's about it for me. Very long, very boring. The end of this record was really hard to get through. I have it at number 15. It's just not something that I'm interested in listening to. Just not very good. 15. And I just kind of filled in the blanks at this point because they were so, I mean, they're just so like run together. Like, to me, it was really, really hard to get through these. So 15, C minus, C whatever, C minus,
C whatever, C something, NA whatever. Yeah, it was definitely tough to rank these for sure. I mean, I'm looking at my rankings after I put them together yesterday or today, and I don't even know why I ranked stuff where I ranked them anymore. I don't know. I mean, other than the very bottom and the very top, I don't know what was I even doing. I don't even know what I was doing. So anyway, on to the last album, Rock Believer. Kind of cool. It was released on February 22nd, 2022. So 2/22/22, 11 songs. This is another one. On Spotify, it's listed as 16 songs, and I listened to all 16 like an idiot. There's only 11 songs on this album, so I punished myself again. Although I like this one quite a bit better than Return to Forever. I'm going to try to end a little bit on a positive note here. This is nowhere near, any of the other really great stuff they put out. Don't get me wrong, but this one's quite a bit better than the Return to Forever was for me. There's still some filler in here. Again, this might be because I didn't like that album so much. Might have been the skies opening up, and I'm like, wow, this is actually not bad. I guess a decent way to end their recording career, unless it still isn't over, which I'm not really sure. They kind of brought the nose up a bit with this one compared to the last album, at least. For me, the first three songs are good. Gas in the Tank. Roots in My Boots is it's a weird name of a song, but it's catchy. And Knock 'Em Dead. I like those three songs. After that, it kind of falls off until you get to Seventh Son, which I liked. I kind of like that one in number 6. And I liked Peacemaker, which is song number 9. So Skippers, When I Lay My Bones to Rest, and Call the Wild. Those are the two that sound the least like Scorpions at all. So those would be the two I would skip. But this one has some Scorpions goodness in there, at least a little bit. And they did cut down on the songwriters. There's a lot more Rudolph Schenker on here, which makes total sense. They're newish, I think, bass player. And there's one. Seventh Son was co-written by a few different people. But mostly this is written by just Klaus and Rudolph Schenker. So, it makes sense that this is much better. So I have this as kind of a B minus. I think I'm being kind. I have this kind of at 7, but again, there's a lot of these that kind of run together. I had to rank them somewhere. It's nowhere near as good as the top 6, but for me, this was kind of the best of the rest of them, I guess. But like I said, I don't even know where I rank these and why at this point. There were so many albums. This was really the hardest one I think we've done so far, because of the material and like the 60 years they've been around, 50 years of recording. I mean, the first one came out in 72 and their last one came out in 22. So it's just such a range of music and so hard to compare one era of the band versus another era of the band versus the one that we both really agree that we love and everybody else loves. So it's just, this was such a difficult one to do. So anyway, I got this at 7. What did you think of Rock Believer? Did you like this one at all?
So I actually kind of thought it was decent, a few songs, but I got to be honest with you, I kind of got a little lazy. So I put it at 16 because that was the spot I had open, and I was just thinking,
awesome.
I was just thinking to myself, I'm like,
do I got a blank spot somewhere? Yeah, right there, 16, perfect.
Like, do I like it enough that I could have moved it up a little more? Yes, but
yeah,
all these were so, for anything from Face the Heat all the way to Rock Believers or Humanity Hour for me. Like, any of those could have been any different order. I have it. I have it 16, and it could easily be 15, 14, 13, whatever. To me, it's all kind of the same. It was cool to see that Mickey D is on this. That's pretty cool from Motorhead.
Yeah, he's been their drummer since Rare Bell left, I think, in like 2003, I want to say.
Okay, I didn't notice.
Paul Colts left, but yeah, Mickey D's been with them for a while.
Okay, so that's cool that he was there.
Yeah,
after he must have, like, way before Lemmy died. He must have been over there then. So, and anyway, interesting.
Yeah.
Gas in the Tank, I really, really liked, and Seventh Son. I think you mentioned both of those. Those were the two highlights for me. Not really a whole lot else that was highlighted, but the sound, I think the production of this album was actually pretty good. Probably the best production they've had in a while. Just a lot of songs. It's just the same thing. It's a lot of forgettable songs for me. So that's for me. I just put it at 16, and I'll just kind of put a nail in the coffin on that one, unfortunately. Because
fair enough. There's a lot of albums that you and I are just probably not really ever going to come back to.
Right.
So
exactly.
It doesn't really matter where we ranked them. I mean, there's just so many. So
legendary band. They just 19 albums. It's like, obviously there's 6 or 7 of them that are great.
Yeah.
Legendary even, and then there's just, I don't know.
We've done this in the past where we've cut out albums, right? Because we try not to make it this long because it's hard. It's really hard to listen to all this and then compare eras of the band. It's really difficult. But when you have a band like this one that's kind of the same guys, there's nowhere to cut it off. Like, do you cut it off at what? Like Love Drive and then kind of skip their whole growth phase? Or do you cut it off after Crazy World and just don't cover any of the rest of like half of their catalog? Like, there's just there's nowhere to cut it. There's crap in there and there's decent in there and there's good and there's great, but there's nowhere to chop it. So we struggle with that. It's like, this didn't need to be 19 albums, but maybe we need to seek outside counsel on where to cut these off at.
Find a specialist for these bands.
Right? But say, hey, look at Scorpions. Where should we start and end our rankings? Because, man, this was hard. It really was.
All right, buddy. Give me 19 to 1.
Here we go. We're at 2 hours. Number 19, Eye to Eye. Number 18, Pure Instinct. Number 17, Lonesome Crow. Number 16, Return to Forever. Number 15, Taken by Force. Number 14, Virgin Killer. Number 13, In Trance. Number 12, Fly to the Rainbow. Number 11, Face the Heat. Number 10, Humanity Hour 1. I keep screwing that up. I think it matters. Number 9, Unbreakable. Number 8, Sting in the Tail. Number 7, Rock Believer. And then to the really good stuff. Number 6, Animal Magnetism. Number 5, Crazy World. Number 4, Love Drive. Number 3, Blackout. Number 2, Love at First Sting. Number 1, Savage Amusement. Yeah, that's 6. Between 6 and 7 is a chasm. There's a Grand Canyon between those.
Absolutely.
What about you?
All right. 19, Eye to Eye. 18, Pure Instinct. 17, Humanity Hour. 16, Rock Believers. 15, Return to Forever. 14, Sting in the Tail. 13, Unbreakable. 12 is Face the Heat. Number 11, Fly to the Rainbow. Number 10, In Trance. Number 9 is Lonesome Crow. Number 8, Virgin Killer. Number 7, Taken by Force. Number 6, Crazy World. Number 5, Savage Amusement. Number 4, Animal Magnetism. Number 3, Love Drive. Number 2, it is what is it? Love at First Sting, of course. And number 1 is Blackout. That would be 19-1. And we are done with Scorpions.
Wow. Yeah, I hope somebody enjoyed this.
I hope somebody does, right? I hope somebody listens, because there's a lot of people that listen to these newer albums.
Yes.
So
yeah,
forgive us.
Many.
Forgive us for bashing them. We didn't like them, but we tried. We did give them a listen, and we did try to be positive. We tried to pick some songs that we liked. So don't hate us too much in the comments, but we tried.
We are clowns, we know, but but anyway, we agree the top 6 is the top 6, and that's pretty much all that really matters with this band is we have them in a slightly different order, but we both have the same top 6 albums, and there's a giant chasm between 6 and 7 and the rest. So So all right, partner, it was good. We needed to do them. They have a lot of listeners still to this day. Like you said, it's crazy the amount of listens they get. I think they're over 20 million a month still. It's crazy. They get so many listens. It is one of the biggest bands of the 80s, at least, popular. They were huge, just gigantic. So, there's a lot of people that, I guess nostalgia reasons are going to still listen. And I still love, like I said, I've heard Worldwide Live probably 1,000 times, and I listened to it 3 straight times back to back to back because I love it that much. It never gets old to me. So I'll still go back and listen to that and probably some of these other albums in the middle here. So
for sure,
I love that stuff. So I guess that's the attraction. So all right, we will figure out what we're going to do and when we're going to do it next, because next week I'm okay on Tuesday, and then after that I'm so busy for the next week and a half. After that, I'm not sure there's going to be one in 2 weeks. So maybe we'll
do a quick one or a smaller one this week.
We need to figure out who we're going to coming into this coming next Tuesday. We'll need to pick something that's got a few less albums. But we'll find somebody. Maybe we'll do another S band. We just done 2 in a row. Maybe we'll pick another one, because there's like 30 that fit what we do.
There's a lot.
Here. There's so many. So we did Seven Dust, we did Scorpions. Maybe we'll do another one, Skid Row type, or somebody else that has fewer albums, and then just get that out of the way too. Because we get to the end of the alphabet, there's not much, so we might as well knock some of these ones out while we're here, because we're not going to be back to S for a while. So might as well knock them out while we're here. So, but we'll figure it out, and we'll let you all know.
We'll be back next Tuesday with a new band for you. So,
thank you, Tyler, and thank you, Bucko, for showing up.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
And our other usual suspects, Johnny, he wasn't here, but
Brian is touring Europe with his wife, so he is
congratulations on all his success.
Exactly.
My goodness, he's making some money. That is not cheap.
Before we go, I do want to share a couple thoughts. A sad loss. Not a band that I think either of us are super into, but Three Doors Down, of course, we lost Brad Arnold, the singer, major songwriter of Three Doors Down. Again, kind of the band, a butt of a lot of jokes, like the dad rock stuff. Like, they were one of the first ones with it, of course. Humongous band, but man, the guy just out of nowhere, like, they were going on tour, and then he announced that he was already in stage 4. I think he had blood cancer, one of those lung cancer, and he was already stage 4 when they found it. So the guy was just already kind of screwed. And 47 years old, we lost him this week. So really, really sad. But I don't know if we'll do Three Doors Down. We probably normally wouldn't have. Maybe we'll take a look at doing them just because of this going on. We'll see how it goes,
I almost feel like we should. I mean, the dude, by all accounts, I'd never met the guy, but by everybody that's met him, I mean, we just did Seven Dust. LeJohn, he couldn't even put together a coherent Instagram post. You could tell how broken up he was. Like, this dude, he meant so much to these guys. Mark Tremonti, like I've seen Three Doors Down probably 10 times, and not one time did I ever go see just them, right?
Right.
But I was always happy to see them on the bill because I knew I was going to hear songs that I liked and songs that I knew. And every single time, I walked away from those shows going, man, they were really good.
Yeah.
Every time. It wasn't my favorite band. It wasn't, my favorite style of music. They weren't heavy, but like they had some great hooks. Brad Arnold, I think he wrote the whole first album and recorded most of it. He's a drummer. Like,
Yeah.
and then he became a front man. He plays guitar. Like he was Three Doors Down at the beginning. And I think their first couple albums, when they were really popular, when Kryptonite came out and all that stuff, I think all 4 of those dudes are dead now. All
Yeah.
4 of them. Like, and Brad Arnold, man, it's just, he's such a great dude. All these people came out of everywhere saying, with pictures with him, they're like, I can't believe Adam Gontier from 3 Days Grace said when they went on tour, like they toured with Seven Dust, they toured with Creed, they toured with all these bands, right? So they toured with 3 Days Grace. So I had seen him with all these bands, and Adam said that he's like, we were punks, man. He's like, we thought we had the world by the balls. He's like, we came up, we were opening for these guys, and he's like, I was acting like a jackass. I was doing things I shouldn't do. He's like, I was living an unhealthy lifestyle. And Brad Arnold came up to me and he's like, hey man, he's like, he gave me some advice. He helped me in ways that he goes, I can't even articulate. And he's like, the dude became a friend for me. And that's what everybody says. He was like their friend forever. You meet this guy and he's instantly your friend. He's like, some people were saying like, I can't even tell you when I met the dude. All I can tell you is that he was the greatest friend I could have ever had. I mean, it's just so sad, man.
Yeah.
It's always the good ones, right? So 47, man.
Yeah,
Makes me sad, it really does.
It's ridiculous.
Thanks for bringing that up because I don't know, I got all caught up in the Scorpion stuff and I wanted to bring it up to you, and I'm glad you did because I wanted to say all that. I never had a bad time seeing Three Doors Down. I always liked seeing them, even though I never paid money to see just them. I saw them open for everybody, and they were always great, man. Always.
See, now
always.
Talking about him, I feel like this should be the band we do next week. I feel like it because we're at T anyway, and I know we said we could do another S.
Yeah,
there's a ton of T's too. We could always go back to S. I feel like we should just do Three Doors Down.
Let's do it.
6 albums. It's not that much.
Yep. It'll be as easy as it was to see them live. To do them next week. So
for sure. All righty. Well, that's settled. All right, partner. Well, thank you.
Hey, man, that's such a sad note, man.
I know. I hate
saw that. I mean, I knew he had cancer, and I kept asking, and I kept looking to try to find some updates on him because I couldn't believe it. Like, I'm like, man, of all dudes, like it was like May of last year.
Yeah.
May of last year. He was on tour. Like you said, he posted and he's like, hey, I just want to let everybody know I started feeling like crap. I went to the doctor. They found, cancer stage 4. He's like, I'm going to fight this, whatever. He's like, the Lord, he's a Christian guy. And he's like, he's got me, we're going to fight through this. And, 8 months later, he's gone, man.
Yeah, it was stage 4 renal cell carcinoma. So it's actually kidney cancer, but it metastasized in his lungs.
Yeah,
so
that's when he noticed it and was having problems. He said he felt sick and he was coughing a lot, and that's when they found it. But it was just so aggressive. And
all right, well, we're doing Three Doors Down next week, and we will definitely pay homage to his career and their great songs. Again, you probably know more songs by them than you think you do. And
absolutely.
So,
and there's some sad stuff in there, man. I'm gonna fight through some of those because I'm telling you, he wrote some songs that are they're emotional to begin with, and when you think of him in the context of what he went through, and now that he's gone, I mean,
it's hard. Yeah,
I mean, I think one of the songs is "When I'm Gone."
Yep.
And it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to listen to. It really is. So, but we're gonna do it. So
we're gonna do it.
We'll do it for Brad.
We'll do it for
Rest
Brad.
in peace, Brad Arnold, man. What a dude.
All right. Well,
right.
On that note, we will see you in the next one.
Rock on.
I didn't even have the scene ready.
Looks like you've been missing a lot of work lately.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
What would you say you do here?
God damn it. Bob, we love playing here tonight. My brother's ready.
It helps if you think of it as a game, Bob. Every game has a winner and a loser.
You must possess strength to inflict pain, Bob.